The desert sun was merciless that day, burning the ground as if the earth itself was angry. Maya stumbled along the dusty roadside, clutching her 3-year-old son, Arjun, close to her chest. Her lip was bleeding. Her clothes were torn. And her heart, shattered. The men who had promised her forever had thrown her out of their home, shouting words so cruel they still echoed in her ears. "You and that child are nothing but a burden. Get out of my sight." He had slammed the door behind her, leaving her barefoot, broken, and hopeless. She had nowhere to go. Her parents were gone, her relatives had long turned their backs on her after she chose to marry against their wishes. The world was quiet except for Arjun's soft sobs. Every step she took felt heavier, not just from exhaustion, but from the weight of despair. She whispered to her son, "It's okay, baby. Mama's here. Mama will find a way." Her words were trembling promises she wasn't sure she could keep. The sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Maya sat down beside the road, tears slipping down her face. The wind was dry, the land endless. She looked up and whispered to the sky, "God, if you can hear me, please, don't let my baby suffer. Take care of him, if you can't take care of me." And then, headlights appeared in the distance. A black SUV slowed down, its tires crunching over the gravel. Maya squinted through her tears, shielding Arjun's face from the dust. The car stopped a few feet away, and the driver's door opened. Out stepped a man, tall, sharply dressed in a navy blue suit, the kind of man who looked like he didn't belong on a lonely desert road. He was handsome but carried an air of sadness in his eyes, like someone who'd seen too much of the world's cruelty. He walked toward her slowly, hands slightly raised as if not to scare her. "Are you all right?" he asked softly, his voice calm but filled with concern. Maya tightened her hold on Arjun. "Please, we don't want trouble. Just go." "I'm not here to hurt you," the man said gently. "You look like you need help." Maya's lips trembled. "No one helps for free." Her voice was bitter, heavy with pain. "I've learned that." The man paused. He took off his jacket, knelt down, and placed it over her shoulders. The warmth of the fabric startled her, it smelled faintly of cologne and something safe, something kind. "Then let me be the first," he said. "My name is Arav." Maya blinked. Arav. The name sounded familiar, wasn't that the same Arav Mehra she had seen on TV once? The billionaire businessman who donated to orphanages and funded shelters. But what would someone like him be doing here, on this road, at this time? Arjun tugged on her sleeve. "Mama, I'm cold," he whispered. Arav immediately turned. "He's shivering," he said, concern flashing across his face. "Come on. I have water and a blanket in the car. Please, I insist." For a moment, Maya hesitated. She had been betrayed, humiliated, used. But something in Arav's eyes, a quiet honesty, made her nod. He helped her up, careful not to startle her, and led her to his SUV. Inside, the air conditioning was cool, the leather seats soft. Arjun clutched a bottle of water with both hands and drank as if it were the most precious thing in the world. Arav watched them quietly. "You don't have to tell me what happened," he said, "but if you need a safe place for tonight, I can help." Maya stared out the window. "I had a husband," she said after a long pause. "He said he loved me. Until I had a child. Then everything changed." Her voice cracked. "He started beating me. Said I ruined his life. And today, he threw us out." Arav's jaw tightened. People like him think strength means power. But real strength is surviving cruelty with kindness still in your heart. He looked at her. "You're stronger than you think." Maya looked away, her eyes wet. "I don't feel strong." He started the engine. "Then let me help you remember what strength feels like." They drove for miles until the city lights began to shimmer on the horizon. Arav stopped in front of a large building, modern, elegant, but warm. "This is one of my properties," he said. "I run a foundation here. We help women and children rebuild their lives." Maya looked up at the building in disbelief. Why are you helping me?" Arav turned to face her. "Because once, someone helped me too." She frowned. "You. But you're Rich, he finished with a small smile. I wasn't always. I grew up in an orphanage. My mother died protecting me from my father's rage. I know what pain looks like, Maya. And I promised myself that if I ever had the power to stop someone else from living that nightmare, I would. Her eyes filled again, but this time, with something new, hope. Inside the building, kind faces greeted her. Arav introduced her to Mira, the head caretaker, who showed her a small, clean room with a bed, toys for Arjun, and a warm meal waiting. Maya stood frozen, overwhelmed by the simple kindness of it all. It's beautiful, she whispered. Arav nodded. You don't owe anyone an explanation here. Rest. Heal. Start again. She wanted to thank him, but the words stuck in her throat. For the first time in years, she slept peacefully that night, with Arjun curled up beside her. Days turned into weeks. Maya began helping around the shelter, cooking, teaching other women how to sew and care for their children. Arav would visit often, sometimes with groceries, sometimes just to talk. Slowly, she began to laugh again. Arjun adored him, he called him Uncle Arav, and followed him everywhere, chattering non-stop. One evening, as the sun dipped below the skyline, Arav found Maya sitting in the garden, sketching. You draw? He asked, impressed. Maya smiled shyly. I used to. Before life got messy. Would you ever want to do it again? Professionally. She looked up. Who would hire someone like me? I would, Arav said simply. I'm opening a new art initiative for underprivileged women. I need someone to lead it. Her eyes widened. You're serious? He nodded. I've seen your strength, Maya. You didn't just survive, you found purpose again. That's rare. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she whispered, thank you. For everything. Arav looked at her, and for the first time, his usually composed eyes softened. Don't thank me, he said quietly. Just promise me you'll never stop believing you deserve better. Months later, Maya stood on a stage at an art exhibition, her paintings displayed around the room, each one telling a story of pain, resilience, and rebirth. Arav stood in the front row, applauding with pride. When she took the microphone, her voice trembled, but her spirit shone. I once thought my life was over, she said. I thought kindness was a lie. But a stranger stopped his car one evening and reminded me that not everyone turns away. That sometimes, help comes when you least expect it. And that hope is stronger than fear. The crowd erupted in applause. Maya looked at Arav, who simply nodded, smiling. In that moment, she knew, her past no longer defined her. Her story was hers again. Later that night, as the stars glittered above the city, Maya stood outside the gallery, holding Arjun's hand. Arav joined them quietly. You did well tonight, he said. Maya smiled. I couldn't have done it without you. He looked at her gently. You did it all yourself, Maya. I just gave you a place to remember who you were. She looked at him, eyes glistening. Still, thank you for stopping that day. Arav's smile deepened. Some roads are lonely for a reason. Maybe they're meant to bring two lost souls together. They stood in silence, watching the night sky. Arjun tugged on Arav's sleeve. Uncle Arav, will you stay for dinner? Arav chuckled. Only if your mom says yes. Maya laughed softly, a sound that carried warmth and freedom. Then it's a yes. Sometimes, all it takes is one act of kindness to change a life forever. Maya's story reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there's always light waiting, if we just hold on a little longer. Red Heart. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this. Every story we share carries a message of hope, courage, and second chances. Glowing star. Because somewhere out there, someone like Maya is still waiting, and your one click might be the reason they find hope again.